curious about the Akashic Records and what it feels like and what it means to be able to read.
Yeah, welcome everyone to another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I would be Emily Harrison, the founder and director here inside the Akashic Academy, and inspired and honored mentor to each of you in the Akashic Records. This week has been such a profound week. How many of you are involved in the Vision Quest? If you are part of the Vision Quest, give me a shout out. Let me know that you are participating in this incredible masterclass series that we are conducting this week. The Akashic Academy, of course, is sponsoring. We're hosting it, but it's not happening here on the public page. We have a private Facebook page where you can join in the action, and I will invite you to join in on the action. This is some of the most powerful content that I have created since learning to read the Akashic Record program, which is a 15-week program where I walk other light workers through the process of understanding how to connect with the Akashic Records, how to purify all of the areas where we're holding density, how we deprogram, in essence, how we reprogram, attuning ourselves to our perfect genetic blueprint, that highest potential energy that we have, and then learning how to create our own healing modalities, how to create new technology, bringing new content forward here on the planet. It's an amazing process. And I can tell you, channeling in that content was one of the most powerful times of my life. So much creative energy moving through. Very, very similar in creating the content that is being presented and absorbed by all of us, really, inside of this masterclass, the Akashic Vision Quest. I see Jessica, and I see Kimberly and Scott and Ray. Yes, a lot of our Vision Questers here joining us today, so thank you very much. If you want to join us, tomorrow is the last day of Sabine is here too. The last day of the Vision Quest. I'm going to let you know we are building an incredible amount of energy. There is momentum that is being created in that space. While I'm going to invite you to join, I don't necessarily recommend that you're going to jump in tomorrow. There's been too much powerful energy, too much transformation that started several days ago. However, I will encourage you to sign up because there will be full access to the replays. And again, incredible content. It's such an exciting time to have the sacred knowledge of the Akashic Records as part of my blueprint, part of my medicine that I'm here to offer the world, as the world is waking up to the understanding of what a powerful transformational tool this space is. Very excited to be speaking at Harvard University next week about the Akashic Records. How beautifully symbolic in an institution where knowledge is so praised, so cultivated, held in sacred reverence, to bring forward the understanding of the Akashic Records and how every single human on the planet can use this realm for very, very powerful healing. My friend Brian Gaskell jumping in for a second. What's up, my friend? One of my favorite things to do is to share experience with you guys. So that's why I have created this show, Akashic Answers with Emily, where you can get a feel for how this space works. If you are new to the term Akashic Records or Akashic Field, Akash is a Sanskrit word that means ether. Ether is primordial energy. And the Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness where every detail of your past, your present, all possible futures exists. It's a sacred library of all information. So it's not just you, not just me, not just people. animals, locations, crystals, events, movements, like we talked about earlier today. The Akashic Vision Quest, your vision. All of these things have Akashic records. The beautiful thing about the Akashic record is it is not recorded from the same perspective that we're experiencing life. We're experiencing it in a very polar perspective. What does that mean? Well, we're on a dense plane. The north and south pole is what holds this whole planet in place. We know as above, so below. As a human being, we experience our life in this polar way. We know great joy only after knowing great sorrow. So we tend to experience life in one perspective. It's not a bad perspective, by the way. You have the opportunity to learn so much. This is very high level. If you're here on Earth right now, you are high level. And if you're here on this broadcast, you are super high level. This is an advanced zone that we are talking about here. When you start to embody emotions and learn how to work through those, how to hold your energy, how to forgive and heal within yourself and create that space within others, and then begin to actualize who you are and your vision here on the planet. It's good stuff. We've gotten very tangled in our 3D world. We've gotten very caught up in things that seem very important, but are not really. If you are in this space, I see you, I honor you. I realize that there is an essence of your soul that is here to witness what is truly important in life, here to dig in. And the Akashic Records are an incredible tool to help us do that. So here's how it's going to work. First of all, I'd like to invite you to share where you are from. Actually, share where you are from. Please take a moment and share this out. Share this out with your audience, with your groups that you like to hang out in, with someone in your life that you know is going to benefit from being in a space where we are calling in love, we are calling in light, and we are calling in illumination. Someone in your life is seeking that. So thank you for taking the opportunity to share, and share where you are from. I love to begin the opening of our sacred space. Actually, I always begin the opening of our sacred space by dinging something and saying the records are now open, which I didn't do. So pardon me, the records are now open. I'm flipped around. I'm not my normal, my set is usually flipped the other way where my triangle is, but I'm facing this way today because I was already set up and all easy to work here. So the records are now open. But I like to create the sacred environment, to open up our sacred ritual here together by allowing us all to witness and honor each other. See all of these different pinpoints of light. Each one of you is carrying sacred wisdom, sacred knowledge, which is why I'm so happy you're connecting with the Akash, because this will illuminate and clarify and help you actualize the medicine that is your unique area of expertise that needs to exist here on the planet. And as we begin to witness each other, our power grows. We harness our power. All right, so I am here in the High Sierras. I'm going to start giving you guys some shout. I don't know if it's shout out or shouts out. I'm actually pretty good with my English. I'm going to give you some shouts. I think it's shouts out. That's what I'm going to say it is. All right. Alabama in the house, San Diego, Vancouver, right on, Netherlands, love it. We're getting global. Washington, hi from Arizona, Texas, Kentucky, South Africa. Scottish, living in England. That was really bad. Probably both of those accents I brutalized, but that's pretty fun. Ray from the UK also is here. Australia calling in the sacred space. Thank you so much. Netherlands, yes. So Mexico City, sunny Florida. I'm in the High Sierras, Wales. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being global. Now I want you to imagine those pinpoints of light and the 10 people that you are going to, at least, that are going to come across your awareness over the rest of the day. whether you just brush by or you pass by them at the grocery store. And if you're driving somewhere in a city, you're going to pass by a ton of people. Just hold the space right now that everything that you get from this space, everything that becomes illuminated in you, is then present and passed on to everyone who crosses your path today. So just look at how much light we're spreading. Thank you all for being here. Here's how we're going to operate today. I want you to start typing in your questions. Any area of life where you are open and ready to receive higher insight, guidance, and clarity. Okay, I'm going to tune into your Akashic Records and bring forward the messages that are coming through from your guides. It's 111. That's cool. This is one of the only times, by the way, that you get what it's like to have an Akashic Record reading with me, because I don't do private readings anymore. The information is too powerful, and each individual needs to know how to do it. So if you come talking to me about the Akashic Records, it means, one, that you can do it, and two, I will be encouraging and holding the space as you wake up, because the more and more of us that wake up, why do you think I'm taking this information to Harvard? Because our scientists, our researchers, our entrepreneurs, people need this information. Okay? I'm going to require you to wake up to it. Because if you've taken the steps to reach out, to seek it more dynamically, you've got it in you. This is really one of the only places where I'll do the readings for you. Okay? So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to dive in, allow Spirit to bring my awareness to a question that's going to serve the group. For that individual, I am going to share the information that's coming through. Where is it coming through? Obviously from the Akashic Records. Who's it coming from? Masters, including ascended masters, teachers. These are light being entities that are lesson specific. They come and go as we learn different karmic lessons over the course of our existence. Your loved ones who have passed, and the guides, including archangels, all different entities of the highest light and a resonance of unconditional love, can come in and speak to you through this space. You can also look at it as your higher self if you want to, or a source energy. I speak about source often. So that's who the energy is coming from, whatever resonates to you, and however you tend to connect is how the energy will present itself for you. Okay? Here's the other thing. Even if it's not you that I'm talking to, if the message resonates for you, it is for you. And the group healing transmission that we do will be available for everyone. Okay? So I'm going to dive in right now, looking for some questions in here. All right. Kimberly Neville, help with life purpose. This is such a great question, and thank you for being here and asking this. It's so important right now that we feel empowered and that we feel that our life mission is possible. Now, this is just my way of breaking it down and sharing it with you guys. Okay, there are a lot of different ways to understand and interpret this, but here's how I like to break it down and share it because it makes sense to me. Your purpose here on the planet is to be happy. If you are happy and you can hold a frequency of joy and presence in every moment, you're doing us all such a powerful service. Any kind of mission, greater mission to save the planet that you're here to do, trust me, you'll do it. If you just ask and be happy, okay? It's part of why I like bringing humor so much into the way I present and teach, is because we got to lighten up and be able to embrace joy. And so many of us are so closed off to joy. We're not going to experience joy. No, we want to experience joy. But there are many ways that we self-sabotage. Sometimes joy, I just felt this move. Felt it moving, you guys. Felt it move. Ooh. Sometimes we're afraid to allow ourselves to experience joy because in our experience, joy has been followed with pain or with regret. Because that's how we tend to swing, that polarity thing. Sometimes we attach joy to another moment. if you can just hold being in joy of your life, then your purpose is fulfilled. You did it. Congratulations. Mission, in my opinion, is a different thing. Mission is something that your soul has agreed to in soul contract to show up and participate in. Part of what we're doing this week in the Vision Quest is creating the environment that's necessary for clarity and purposeful emergence of your individual unique vision. Because we know the microcosm and the macrocosm are connected. If you are pulled and resonate and are showing up in the space to participate in that masterclass of the Vision Quest, your vision is directly related to the evolutionary expansion of the entire planet. You're here for a powerful mission. Because as you self-actualize, meaning you begin to understand yourself, know what individual medicine that it is you're here to bring. We all have unique knowledge. We all have pieces, individual pieces of the puzzle. It's like this. I can't remember where I picked this up. This was not divinely just popped into my head, by the way, which is why I usually like to let you know if someone else told me something that went, but I can't remember where this came from. But it was not a divinely pop-in moment. I have a lot of good one of those, but this was not one of them. God bless me. Okay, someone else told me this. We can look at ourselves as, okay, source energy, this divine oneness, right? And then a big explosion of that where all of these pieces break apart. All of these little fragments of the one, that's each one of us, holding our unique aspect, our unique blueprint, our unique knowledge, and as we come back together, meeting back into oneness, into source, meeting ourselves back in this space, all bringing the pieces that need to be brought to make this complete. Okay, here's one that I did think of. Because once my brother and I shattered my mama's lamp. Imagine a lamp and it shatters and you're trying to glue all the pieces back together. And if one of the pieces is missing, it doesn't matter how big or how small that piece is. You're missing it. It's not whole. We are all God source energy. We all have unique medicine here, especially if you're here to speak it in a bigger way. To show up and make available here on the planet by sharing. Okay? When it comes to your soul mission, while it does shift and change over the course of our life, I truly believe that you come into the planet knowing it. As a child, you know it. Many of us forget it. Many of us are bullshitting ourselves and we're trying to pretend like we don't know it. We're just afraid to say it. My friend David Mailer also acknowledged that this weekend too, who is a powerful mentor and friend of mine. And when he speaks, my soul just up levels. But he spoke a really bold truth, and he said, I think that everyone knows what they come in here. You know what mission you come here with, but we will forget it. My experience looked like this. I did not know as a child that I didn't know about the Akashic Records. I didn't know that I was going to be like, I'm going to bring the Akashic Records to the world. I'm going to speak at Harvard University. And the closest I got to Harvard was, you remember the game that you play where like you write down 4 colleges that you want to go to, and then for me, I'll just speak my personal truth, but you could write 4 girls, 4 boys, or 4 whoever you want to marry. You write 4 boys you want to marry, 4 animals you want to have, 4 cities you want to live in, and you write it, and then you go through and you like methodically uno, dos, y tres or something like that, and you cross them off, and then after you go through the whole thing, whatever you end up with is like your life, shows your life playing out. Yeah, picking Harvard and getting Harvard as last man standing there was about the closest I ever got to Harvard. You're going to find out anyway, I dropped out of college. Which truthfully used to bother me, but it doesn't bother me anymore. because I understand from a higher perspective that there are going to be many avatars, and many of you might find that you feel like a very successful, you feel like I'm showing up to like I'm a good person, I got my shit together. Why is my life, I keep come crashing up against what it is that I'm crashing up against? We're here to break the old system. So if you are that kind of person and you're in an old system that's not serving you, you're going to end up finding frustration. But enough of us need to break through that to make it easier for everybody else. It's the process. It's what we've agreed to. So just relax a little bit. This is what it looks like. Okay? So Kimberly, going back to childhood and exploring just what you were passionate about. Now, like I said, for me, I didn't know that I wanted to do the Akashic Records and I wanted to, everything that's evolved. I didn't know that I wanted to do this, but there were clues along the way. I had a deep passion for space. Thought that I wanted to be an astronaut. I loved writing. Whew, been writing and making little journals and stuff since I was a little girl. I literally used to lock myself in my granny's bathroom and pull up the plug on her sink and start dumping all of her lotions and shampoos in it and making potions. I don't know what, I'm not really sure where I got this idea to make potions, maybe from cartoons, I don't know. But when I went back and began to look at myself and my life through the Akashic Records, once I had that gift and that knowledge, I was like, wow. There was my whole life. All right, so anybody who is struggling to find your life mission, I'm going to send in that energy right now. What I'm doing is calling up the memories of yourself when you were a child and the activities that you felt lost in. And just allow those to return to your memory. Because those memories in and of themselves contain the blueprint, contain the energy vibrational frequency that will unravel your mission for you. They contain little bits of it for you. All right, so when they come up, your job is to just be with them, be present with them, and just be like, oh yeah, I forgot that about myself, but I remember now. And a lot of our awakening is about remembering. So as you actually begin to remember moments of your physical childhood here on the planet, that template that you're creating is creating space for you to open up for your divine metaphysical remembrance, your spiritual remembrance, the energy, the wisdom that is held within you, that energy that we can't see. If you receive that, say yes. Ooh, that's powerful. Okay, I want to work a little bit on the aspect of purpose as well, because joy is really important. And sometimes I feel not worthy enough to feel the joy that I feel in my life. Not very often. Like right now, things are good and I'm leaning into it. I'm enjoying it. But I'll be honest with you, I had a wave the other day where I noticed myself shrinking back. My mind's going through more dense, more negative thoughts than normal. I got that shit pretty dialed, so it's easy to tell when it goes off and it's going off. And I had to make adjustments. I had to just remind yourself, Emily, there's some energy coming in right now. You're clearing some energy. Just bring it on back, girl. And what happens is when I can recognize that my energy is not in a space of joy and openness and happiness, and I'm not in a state of flow and balance, I can instantly course correct. I have enough tools in the toolbox now to course correct. But it still comes up. And I know it's part of the process of breaking through to really feel that you deserve a life of joy and abundance and wisdom and knowledge and clarity and feeling respected for what it is that you specifically are here to bring. None of us know everything. You got to show up. You got to feel safe enough to do that. You got to give yourself permission to feel that level of joy. And that's where like-minded community can be really powerful for you. So if you don't have one, you're welcome in this space. You do now, okay? So just sending that through. Anybody who is receiving and expanding their capacity to feel joy, say yes. Thank you guys for receiving that. Beautiful. All right, let's dive in and grab one more question in here for today. All right, Hamish says, today has been a day that everything has slotted into place for me. My question is it more likely that we can tap into these higher realms after the 11/11 as you're definitely feeling more intuition? Nice. Yes, absolutely. The veils are thin. We just came off of Halloween, Day of the Dead, which is the day when historically the veils between dimensions are the most thin. And 11/11 is an incredible gateway. And these gateways aren't just on the button on the nose, right? There's a warm up and there's like a cool down phase. And we're definitely still in that energy. Plus, we're creating really unfathomable transformation inside the vision quest. And when you meditate and you do this work in a collective of high vibrating beings, it gets really powerful. Really powerful. So yes, 100% that you can experience a heightened energy during this time. Okay, that was awesome. Let's see, what activation do we want to bring in for that? And then we have 2 more minutes. There's no way I'm going to be under time. Never. We'll have to roll over just at least a few minutes. Okay, let's see what, oh, Katrina says, hello, you felt guided to come here. Beautiful. Then there's a lot of healing here for you to receive. So thank you so much for being here and allowing us to witness you and allowing yourself to be seen, Katrina. We see you. Beautiful. Okay, hang on. I still wanted to bring in, I want to bring in a transmission there for magnifying the energies, specifically the 11/11 gateway. See if there's anything that they want to bring in around that. Honestly, the download that just came in is probably more than I can put into words right now. I just got to send it through to you guys. Pick up whatever you want to get from this. They were showing me how 2 truths exist at the same time in terms of how these time gateways are absolutely like star portals and we can harness and use them. And then they showed me like what happens when you disengage from the understanding that time is real and that time is locked and measured in this way. Because we can also release any sense of time. And they were showing me that as well. There, so that wasn't so bad to explain, was it? All right, so here's what we'll bring in for you guys, because a lot of times this happens. Sometimes downloads come in for me and I'm like, oh, wow, that makes great sense. And I really have a hold on it. And sometimes things come in that stretch me, that are a little beyond my capacity to understand and to filter through and to make sense of and to embody right away. And then to share. So if you find that you have downloads coming in and they feel a little beyond your grasp, I want you to just sit and relax and just be like, all right, good, here it comes, coming in. This is a sign that you're up leveling. Okay? And when you hear, so I get all kinds. I get ones that come in, I'm like, oh, wow, that's good. I just got a good download. And then I get ones that come in that are like, oh, that's a good download. And like I said, I have trouble, like, because I haven't embodied it yet, I have trouble making full sense of it and bringing it into something that you guys can understand. That means that you're up leveling. The best one is when it's so simple that you almost miss it. That's really master level. And don't we love to get those? Don't we love to have that feeling of knowing underneath that is so authentically who we are, but sometimes so subtle and so simple that we can miss it. All right, so before we go, I want to just invite everybody to get to know the simplest essence of who you are with this last transmission, focusing your awareness inward, and just giving yourself permission to know yourself on the most innocent, simple level. That's the level of the master. I love that we talked about finding clues about who we are in our childhood, because we often think of our childhood as a time when we were so innocent. And many of you might, for me, maybe it didn't for you, but for me, when I talked about just like knowing that innocent, childlike, authentic self, I went to the literal child representation of myself in this life. Beautiful. And begin to just infuse that energy, infuse it into your heart, that childlike energy, that childlike essence, the most pure, authentic essence of you. Sending light, adding light, making him or her very easy to find, very inviting that energy into your awareness and in every aspect of your life. This will help you tremendously. Beautiful. Thank you all so much for joining me here for Akashic Answers with Emily. Again, if you are a first timer here, let me know that you're a first timer. I always love to see our first timers in the house. I'm also sharing one more time with you the link where you can you can sign up for the Akashic Vision Quest. Like I said, it's not over yet. But if you're not signed up yet, you missed out on quite a bit, and we've harnessed an incredible amount of momentum. I truly, I will not bullshit you. I think that you would be doing yourself a disservice if you showed up tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to kick you out. You can go, a part of this link will invite you to become a part of the Facebook group. Okay. And if you show up tomorrow for the last day of class for the good part of the vision quest and you haven't done all your homework yet, my ass is not going to know. I might know. I might see some. I'll eventually know because I'll go in there and find you. But live on the air tomorrow, I'm not going to know, and you're going to be safe and you're not going to get kicked out. Okay. So if you resonate, by all means, you are invited to go, and I will not heckle you. I will let you stay in class. But I think that you're doing yourself a disservice by not allowing the energy to build for you as it was designed for you by the guides. I'm just the channeler of this information coming in. But you are all very warmly invited to participate in this. Third eye going off like crazy. So I imagine there are some of you vision questers out there who have not signed up yet, who will be vision questing in the past, but it doesn't matter if it's past, present, or future. The energy is divinely blessed to create a moment of presence regardless of when you do this. Okay? I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. I look forward to connecting with you more deeply. And for those of you who resonate with the work of the Akashic Records and you want to learn more about how to read yours, feel free to reach out and schedule an appointment with me to learn more about how the Akashic Records can clarify your vision, your mission, and help increase your impact if you are here as a light worker with special skills to share with the planet. I love you guys so much. Oh, hang on one second. I'm going to do one more cool thing for you. Hang on. I've got a cool ending promo for our Vision Quest.